Hey everyone, so today we're going to be playing a game of Does It Old Fashioned. We did a Mai Tai Old Fashioned weeks ago and you guys loved it. I've also done other stirred tiki cocktails and you guys loved those as well. So I figured let's start a new segment and we're going to see will it old fashioned? And today we're going to be taking a look at an ancient mariner. Hey, I'm Andy and welcome to Mixing Up Tiki. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're a longtime patron, well, thanks for sticking around. We're gonna get into some fun stuff today. So the other day I was watching another content creator, Greg from How to Drink, and he made a Vicks Navy Grog. Now, I've done Vicks Navy Grog in the past, and you can see a link in the card right up here. Now, it is actually one of my favorite cocktails, kind of. I actually prefer the Ancient Mariner over Vicks Navy Grog, and then when we're talking about Navy Grogs, I usually go for Dawn's. But what is the Navy Grog? What is the Ancient Mariner? So, Victor Bergeron had created the Navy Grog, which his version included 3 different rums: Demerara syrup, allspice dram, grapefruit juice, and lime juice. Now for a while these cocktails had disappeared until about the late 1990s, when Jeff the Beach Bum Berry went to a Trader Vic's and had a Navy Grog. It then set him on the path of trying to recreate it. And what he came up with is the Ancient Mariner. So theoretically, if we really think about it, if it weren't for Vicks Navy Grog, Tiki may have never experienced the resurgence that it is today, because Jeff the Beach Bum Berry would have never had the cocktail, never had to try to recreate it, and then gone digging in the past trying to find all these old recipes. So for that, Vicks Navy Grog, I salute you. And Jeff the Beach Bum Berry, thank you very much for doing all the hard work of getting us to where we are today. And while classic tiki cocktails are wonderful, I actually like taking those same flavor profiles, those tropical flavor profiles and rum-based cocktails, and then turning them into slightly more nuanced, slightly more balanced, at least in my opinion, cocktails that fit a more modern palate. Now, one of the most common cocktails that we see nowadays that is ordered is an old fashioned. It's a pretty simple template. You have bitters, you have a spirit, and you have a sweetener. And then of course it's diluted with water, but so aren't every cocktail. So what if we could start taking tiki cocktails, which are notoriously known to being overly sweet and giant cocktails full of syrups, full of sugar, full of juice, and very little spirits, and then reformat them into an old fashioned. And that's what gave the birth to this whole experience. We had done it a little while ago with my Mai Tai Old Fashioned card up here, and you guys really seem to enjoy that. So today we're gonna be looking at how to take one of my favorite cocktails, the Ancient Mariner, and turn it into an old fashioned. Now the original Ancient Mariner was created in 1994 by Jeff the Beach Bum Berry, as I mentioned, when he was trying to recreate Vicks Navy Grog. And the recipe for a traditional Ancient Mariner is half an ounce of white grapefruit juice, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, 1/4 ounce of allspice dram, half an ounce of simple syrup, 1 ounce of a dark Jamaican rum, and 1 ounce of a Demerara rum. So we're gonna be taking those same flavor profiles in almost very similar proportions actually, and then turning them into our old fashioned. So to make our Ancient Mariner old fashioned, you are going to need an aged Jamaican rum. I'm going with Denizen 8-year, the Merchant Reserve, an Overproof Demerara Rum, I've got Hamilton 151, a grapefruit syrup, Allspice Bitters, salt solution, and for a garnish, grapefruit aroma. There's a couple ingredients in there that we're gonna have to make. First is the grapefruit syrup, but we made that in the last video, card up here, for our Hemingway daiquiri. Next thing we need to do is make our allspice bitters. Now, why did I go with allspice bitters as opposed to like an allspice dram in the cocktail? Well, if we really think about it, allspice dram is just a lengthened out and sweetened version of something similar to a bitters. So the way you go about making allspice dram is literally steeping certain like allspice and other herbs inside of a high proof spirit and then lengthening that with water and sugar, and then you have allspice dram. Bitters is made very, very similarly, except we concentrate the flavors a little bit more and we don't have to sweeten it. Plus we add bittering agents. So it was an easy kind of lateral move to take the allspice dram out and replace it with allspice bitters, and bitters is a classic ingredient in a old fashioned. So before we go any further, we've got to make our allspice bitters. So let's do that first. To make our allspice bitters, we are going to need 25 grams of allspice berries, 5 grams of Ceylon cinnamon, 1 gram of cinchona bark, 1 gram of cassia chips, half a gram of cloves, 150 milliliters of an overproof Demerara rum, and 100 milliliters of water. In a mortar and pestle, combine the allspice berries, cinnamon, and cloves, and grind till everything is about pretty even. Add all this into an ISI whipper, then add our bittering agents, our cinchona bark, and our cassia chips. Next, pour in the rum. Now charge with a nitrogen cartridge and shake for 30 seconds. Charge with a second nitrogen cartridge, shake for another 30 seconds, and then let sit for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, release the pressure, unscrew the cap, and wait till the bubbling stops. Once the bubbling has stopped, pour through a rinsed coffee filter. Now combine our infused rum with our water and pour into a bottle. This recipe makes about 250 milliliters and it's about a 45% ABV. And there you have it, our Allspice Bitters. Now these things are awesome, honestly. You get a big allspice flavor, but because we also used an Overproof Demerara Rum, we've got that kind of burnt caramel and sugar flavor on the back end, and these are not sweetened. Now the recipe that I just gave you makes 250 milliliters. It is unsweetened, and it is 45% ABV if you use a 151 proof Demerara rum, such as the Hamilton 151, which is what I used. If you don't, and you go with a different rum with a different ABV, you're going to have to adjust the rum versus water ratio. But at a 250 milliliter recipe with a 151 proof rum, the measurements were really nice at 150 milliliters for the rum and 100 milliliters for the water, which is one of the reasons why I went with it. Plus, the higher proof rum has a better time extracting the flavors from the flavoring agents. All right, now that we have our grapefruit syrup, because we made that last time, and we have our allspice bitters, let's make our cocktail. In a mixing glass, add 5 drops of salt solution, 3 dashes of our allspice bitters, a 1/4 ounce or 7.5 milliliters of our grapefruit syrup, 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of our Overproof Demerara Rum, and 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of our aged Jamaican Rum. Now add 1 large cracked cube, and then fill with small cubes. Give it a nice rock stir for about 20 seconds. Grab a chilled double old fashioned glass and drop in a large clear cube. Now strain the contents of the mixing glass over the large cube. Garnish with a couple sprays of grapefruit aroma. And there we have it, my Ancient Mariner Old Fashioned. Let's give it a try. That is so good. Up front, you get a lot of ethanol, a lot of burn from the alcohol, which is to be expected. When you do normal, like old fashions, that's what you get. But then you get hit with this nice little bitterness and allspice dryness, which then leads into this like juicy grapefruit on the back end. It's a wonderful kind of evolution of flavors that hit all the same notes as the Ancient Mariner, but in a much more refined and kind of balanced in my way, or just elegant looking cocktail. So normally tiki cocktails are served over crushed ice, there's a lot of garnishes. Sometimes you just want something a little simple and a little elegant. And well, this might be exactly what you're looking for. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna be doing more of this series, right? Where we take classic tiki cocktails, reinvent their flavors in a different format, such as the Old Fashioned. So we did the Ancient Mariner, we've done the Mai Tai on the docket of the Missionary's Downfall. But if you guys want any other ones turned into Old Fashions, definitely let me know. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me over on Instagram and TikTok at Mixing Up Tiki. Subscribe over on Patreon, that is super helpful. I don't make any other money on YouTube or anything like that. I don't have enough followers, so the only way that this show makes any money is over on Patreon. And I really do appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, you know the deal. Take it easy.